Hi Flosstube, it is Cynthia, the Intuitive Stitcher, and this is Flosstube number 68. My notes are over here, kind of in front of me, so I don't have to look to the side. And today is New Year's Day, January 1st, so Happy New Year, everybody. I'm really late coming to you with this Flosstube because there's a lot that's been going on, especially with maintenance at my apartment. So there's like 3 or 4 things going on right now that need repair, fixing. Nothing that's my doing. So I'll get into that later. But it's been like I'm sleeping in my living room. And that's what I'm going to say. And I have a love seat. I do not have a full sofa. So it's been a little crazy here. But I'm here. So I want to welcome everyone to my channel, my viewers, my subscribers, and also to new viewers. I noticed that I do have a few new viewers and subscribers, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. So we're going to get started with my whips, and then we'll get into the Sal Winter Rose Manor and a few other things. So the first thing I want to show you that I've been working on is Quaker Christmas 2 ByGone stitches, and this is what it looks like. This isn't the whole thing. I don't think, because it's kind of like cut off the picture. I'm not sure yet. And I am on this. I'm using Grace Notes Fabrics Ada 22 count. It's called Palomino. And this is where I am. So I stitched this piece. I still need to do the inside part, and I stitched that. You can see the fabric. It's really nice. It's very subtle. So for that part, this is what I have to do, is the inside. So that is O Come All Ye Faithful. I'm going to lay this over here. I'm not going to put it back in the bag. And then the next piece is Cats and Hearts September. I did a little bit more work with this. Kitty and Me Designs. I did work on this only a little bit when I was visiting with my daughter and her family. I worked on this in the library while she was tutoring. She tutors English besides teaching. So this is where I am, and I want to show you what I did. With this, I'm working on 28 count Ada. So this is the whole thing. I changed the outside. The outside was brown, and I changed it to purple because I don't care for brown. And I did the vines. Not a lot, but I had worked on this before, so I wanted to do the vines. So I like this. And Pamela Kellogg is the designer. If you go to her page, Facebook page, or her website, Kitty and Me Designs, she has so many beautiful designs. You're bound to find several if you go to her Facebook page or her website. So, beautiful designer. I have several of her things. Now, I did update my whips. And like I said, I have several of her things. I don't know. I'm busy, so there's just not enough time in the day to do everything. But I just updated my whips. I still have a few more to put in here. So I just listed them. you know. And I also listed the fabric that I'm using. So I am up to 56. And I need to get my timeouts out of the drawer and add those. And I also want to add some new projects that I got and add those to the list as well. So I've been doing that while I'm stressing about things that are going on here. So I've been working on that to keep my mind off of things. Oh, I did stitch on Mini Dark Waters. It's a Heaven and Earth design. You can't really tell. I don't know what that's for. You can't really tell because I'm working in the corner and I'm using 25 count Easy Grid Lugana fabric. So let me put something behind here. Get it in the right spot. So I'm working down here. So I did quite a bit over here and down in here. And that's the end of the first page. So I might go across. I think I'm going to go across to fill all of this in instead of going down. The nice thing about working my way down is that I would be getting near some of this and not all of the dark, but I've got to do all of the dark sooner or later, so I might as well just finish that area. Maybe I can go farther across. So, but it's still all the dark colors. What's that? That's what I worked on. Not a lot, but with the holidays coming, I've been extra busy, so it's just 3 whips. And then I have the sal that I've been working on, Winter Rose Manor. While I'm thinking about it, my embroidery guild, I belong to our local chapter of the Embroiderers Guild of America, and we are going to be doing the stitching Olympics. We're going to stitch while the Olympics are going on, and our person in charge of that, she always says, needles up when the flame, I think it's when the flame is lit, and needles down when the flame is put out. Extinguished? I think that's the word. So anyway, I pulled this piece out. Black Work Angel by Leslie Tier. She's also another beautiful designer. Black Work Angel. I always liked this piece. Now, the reason I'm doing it for Stitching Olympics is we stitch every day. And I did start it, but I don't like the fabric that I'm using. The Ada, I'm not crazy about it because it's very stiff. And what I did was I started at the top. I'm not even going to show you. I started up here and I used gold metallic, which was taking me forever. So I'm going to get a new piece of fabric, and I'm going to start either here or in the middle because I really love doing black work. So that's going to be my piece for Stitching Olympics, which starts in February. And then I want to do a giveaway before I go into the sal, because I haven't done a giveaway in such a long time. So I want to go into that. And then I'm going to go, I'll show you my WIPGO board. I'll show you the Magazine Monthly Challenge board and BRRINGO. But before I do that, I'm going to do the giveaways, and then I'm going to go into my Winter Rose Manor stitch along. So I have Friendship by the Trilogy. And if you're interested in this one, I want you to use the word friendship in your comment section. And for those of you who don't know anything about giveaways, I ask viewers not to use the word gift or giveaway, because I understand that there are people who like to check out if there's gifts or giveaways, and then they will say that word and try to win it themselves when they're not even stitchers, so I don't even know what they would do with the project or with the pattern. So the first one is the trilogy, and it's called Friendship. I don't have the button. It's just the pattern. So, and also you need to be 18 years old, because I need to ask you for your physical address if you are a winner. And the next one I have is, it's a Mill Hill kit called Willow Wings. And everything, I think everything is here. I didn't open it up. And I don't remember who it's from. And for this one, I would like you to say the word wings in the comment section. Something about wings. The first one was say something about friendship. This one is say something about wings. And the third giveaway that I have is, it's called Amish Alphabet. This is a picture of it. It's a photo. So it's a photo. So this is Amish Alphabet. And for this one, I only have the pattern. This is done, here are the stitch count and the fabric that they used. So that's that one. And for that one, I would like you to say the word Amish, because it's called Amish Alphabet. That's a rubber band. So say the word Amish, and the pattern's there. It's by Lynn's Prints from Ohio. I don't know, it's an older pattern, so. And I think this came from my cousin Gail. She's into quilting right now, so she did give me her cross stitch patterns because she was no longer doing cross stitch. So this is where that came from. It's where it came from her. Feels like it's been forever since I've had a floss tube. I don't know what I'm saying. I hope I'm not missing anything either. Here we go. Winter Rose Manor. This is our stitch along. Some of you are stitching along with me and a few others that live near me and are involved in stitching groups, EGA, and so this is what we're doing, Winter Rose Manor. If you've joined us, you know, I'd like to hear in the comment section that you have joined us, and would like to know how you're doing with your stitch along. So I'm going to show you what I completed, and then I'm going to talk to you about what Chris has chosen for the next motif for the month of January. So this is it. This is the whole thing. And what we did this time around was the basket and the heart. The roof has already been done. And I think, yeah, for the December was the white basket, the heart by the chimney, the two snowflakes above the heart. And I did the two snowflakes above the heart. So right over here. Snowflakes, heart, and the white basket. And it's variegated thread, so the basket is going to look variegated. So for January, Chris has decided, let me put my paper clip here so I don't lose anything. We're going to work above the white basket. So let me move this over. I'm going to show you the copy I have, and then I'll show you the real booklet. So we're going to do the flowers here, the vine, and the leaves. That is January. The flowers, the vines, and the leaves. Now let me look because I can't read backwards. Well, they're stems, not vines. Flowers, leaves, and stems. And then we're going to do the 3 snowflakes to the right near the border, which is right here. We're going to do those 3 snowflakes. Okay? And then Chris said that we could do all the snowflakes that are around the flowers, which would be these here. But I think that I'm not going to do that because do you see there are initials there if we're going to put initials there. So I will graph my initials, and these 2 might not look right if my last initial is so close to there. I don't like those there, so I'm not stitching those. I may stitch them later if I think they'll look okay. And I'm going to wait to stitch these 3 snowflakes because of the initial in my first name. So I'm not going to stitch the snowflakes on this side because of the initials. So you may do that if you want. That's up to you. And I'll decide what I'm going to do with it, like I said, when I do get around to stitching the initials. When Chris lets us know that, okay, how about stitching the initials? I can't wait to get to that house. So we're going to figure that out for February. Well, she will. So that's the January. Let me show you on I think it might look a little bit better. There we go. So we're doing the flowers that belong in the basket, the leaves and the stems, and the snowflakes around the flowers, if you so choose. If you have any questions, leave a comment. So I'll be working on that for the month of January. Now what else do I have? Let me show you my... Okay. Let's get into WIPGO. This is a little different, and I got this idea from Lori, who is Once Upon a Stitch. I do enjoy watching her channel as well as a few others that I really like to watch. And this is my WIPGO board. Now, don't be alarmed. It's very different because I like what Lori did. This is my WIPGO board. I don't have projects. I have the alphabet. So now January was called, and that is number 2 and number 7. So I will find a project with the letter O and work on that. And I will find a project with the letter L and work on that. So O and L. And I think that's kind of neat because then I can make a decision on what I want to stitch on that would have those letters. in the pattern. So I kind of like that idea. So I'm getting a little excited about doing that. It's January 1st, and today was a ridiculous day, but that's what I'm going to do. I might start it tonight. It's 8:40. I hope this uploads because I've been having, one of the problems I'm having was with my internet. And today I tried something, and when I came home, it was up and running. I think when I got home and I did some things to it, I think it reset because I was able to watch the Mummers Parade from Philadelphia, which I like. It's a memory for me with my dad. And so when I got home this afternoon, I said, okay, Dad, I'm going to plug everything in and help me out here because this is a memory. So I did, and I had internet, and I watched it on my tablet, the Mummers, because I still don't want to turn my TV on because I don't know if my TV's causing the problem or if that's all fixed now, because I couldn't do anything with my phone this morning, go on the internet. I couldn't do anything with my tablet. But so the funny thing was, I'm like, come on, Dad, help me out here. So when I turned the string bands on this afternoon, one of the first few songs was one of his favorites. So yeah, that's a gift from God. So that was amazing. So that brought back a lot of memories. So, all right. Anyway, let's move on. I am doing January 2026 Magazine Monthly Challenge. And she has a Facebook group, Magazine Monthly Challenge. I follow Carolyn Zook, Z-O-O-K. So this is the challenge. The theme is monochrome. I'm going to do green Christmas for that. I'm going to do 50 to 100 stitches. And that may not be a lot, but I have Winter Rose Manor to do and WIPGO. So, I don't want to stress myself out right now. And the acrostic is sampler. So I've chosen my first. I have to go through this tonight as well. Now that I have my whips all in order, I can pick out what I want. I just never updated my other project notebook, so this one I want to keep updated. Carolyn Zook also had, we could download this from her Magazine Monthly Challenge page. So it's Stitch Every Day in 2026. And I printed it off because I like it. So I'm gonna use that because here, this is Thursday. This is the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd. So I kind of like that idea. So I'm going to just mark it. If I put 50 stitches in or if I put 150 stitches in, I'm going to mark it that I've stitched today. BRRINGO. Now, don't scold me because now that I have my projects, I'm using that as an excuse. Now that I have my projects all updated, here is my BRRINGO board. And I still have to make my project list. Put my project list on here. And I'll show you the first page. I have some of it already written out, but I really didn't do anything with it yet. So I'll give you an example of this. This is Facebook page. WIP or, I can't read backwards. New Start, that is a travel piece. And I put in Black Vintage Sampler by Alfar's Embroidery because I find that I'm taking that with me I took it with me to visit with my daughter, and it's a pretty easy stitch, and it's nice. Number 2 is whip or new start that reminds you of growth. So I could do anything with flowers. In fact, I could do Winter Rose Manor because we're doing flowers, and that's that would remind me of growth. And then the next one is Whip or New Start that has flowers. For that, I'm choosing Mason Jar Lineup Dimensions, which is a challenge for me, but I can stitch some of those flowers. So it's all, it's goes from 1 to 25. And then for the rest of the days from the 26th, I think January has 31 days. Yes, it does. We can catch up. So I need to get going with that tonight, maybe. If not tonight, it would have to be tomorrow sometime. Tomorrow I'm getting together with some of my stitching friends, and we're doing what's called a round robin. And I will show you when we decide what we're doing and how we're going about it. I'll give you more information on that. So it's not going to be several weeks for me to come back to you because, well, I'm hoping that the issues with the building will be taken care of. They're supposed to be taken care of next Wednesday. So then things can kind of get back to normal for me. Another problem was, I have squirrels in the attic, and they've been there for about 2 months, and now it's worse, and they've caused damage where they come in. If the apartment would have taken care of it in October, there would be no damage. And then because they didn't cut a tree down, there were some limbs that were dead that I told them about. Now, one of the limbs, when we had wind, it was touching the siding, but now it was touching the roof and got under the, I guess you call them shingles, I don't know, and lifted it. So if they would have cut the tree down 3 months ago or cut the dead limbs down, that wouldn't have happened. So that needs to be repaired. The squirrels really bother me. They come in at night. They come in late at night. I hear them running around, and sometimes I hear like they're wrestling or something. I can't get up in the attic. The attic, access to the attic is in the neighbor's apartment. So, and then in the morning, sometimes they wake up at 5 o'clock and decide, I don't know, let's run around and play. Sometimes at 6, sometimes at 7, but I just don't. I sleep out here in the living room, and it's okay. So, Wednesday is the day that it's all supposed to be fixed, I hope. Critter control is coming in because they set traps. This has happened. I've been here 14 years, almost 15. This has happened 2 other times, so it's not a big deal, but I think maybe I need to move. Anyway, I saw my doctor about my knee, and I saw another doctor about my hip and sciatica pain. My knee, I had the 3 gel shots, 3 weeks. Oh, if you're not interested, you can go now. I'm sorry, I don't mean to fling my fingers, but this is just about the pain that I was having. So if you do have pain like that, maybe you can relate. If not, thank you for joining me, and I'll come back to you within 2 weeks, I promise. Within 2 weeks, I promise. And for the giveaway, don't forget, I need your mailing address, so you have to be 18 and older for me to do that. And you know the words that you are to use, and also don't mention anything about a giveaway, gift, prize in the comments. Because then I would have to delete your comment, and I don't want to do that. So thank you for joining me, and I want to now talk about the hip, knee, and sciatica. So I had a follow-up visit with my knee doctor, and I had the 3 gel shots in my knee, and it's been wonderful, because before he was talking total knee replacement. So when I went to see him, his PA said to me, "What would you say your pain level is?" And I said about a 1 instead of an 8 or a 9. And so when the doctor came in, he was thrilled to hear that. And then he said to me, "You can't get more gel shots until 6 months after the first round." And he said, so that would be March. And so we talked a little bit. And then he said to me, "We're not talking about a total knee replacement now because the gel shots worked." So he was happy. I'm happy. And then I just have to be careful, like what I carry up the steps. When I do groceries, I like to try to bring everything up at one time. And that's just not good for my knee, and it's not good for my hip and my back, because then it will hurt. So I have to be careful and take my time and maybe make 2 or 3 trips. That's my fault. Now, the hip and the sciatica I had 2 weeks ago, cortisone shots. The last time I had cortisone shots for my hip and my sciatica was 2 years ago. And it got really bad again, maybe 5 months ago. And I put it off. I thought, oh, I'll just wait. So I finally did have an appointment, and I went to see my doctor. And he gave me a shot in the hip and a shot in the sciatica. And I'm telling you, it's wonderful. I don't have any pain. Sometimes I will have discomfort depending on what I've done during the day. But that just goes away. I either ice it or heat it. And so I'm really pleased. They called me yesterday and asked how I was doing. And I said that, my pain level, there is no pain. It's just discomfort in my hip, not my back, just my hip. And that's from what I've been doing during the day. So finally, that's cleared up. And, things happen at different times, because not like right now it's a little sore, but that's bearable. So I think that's it. Oh, I got a letter from the city saying that there might be lead in the water. So I tapped into the email address, and the woman got right back to me, and she said that my line from my apartment building to the street is copper. What they're concerned about is holds the water in the street. I don't know what it is that holds the water, but from that line in the street from the water company, they're trying to determine if that's lead. So I get a test kit in February, and then fill the bottles up and put them outside, and they pick them up, and then they test the water. So I'm getting jugs of water and all of that. So yeah, but I have a Brita for water, a water pitcher. And I did look it up when I ordered it, and the filter says that it takes away 99% of contaminants, and lead was one of them. So I don't know how true those things are, but I would think you can't advertise something that's not true. So I use that, but I'm not using the water anymore from my spigot. I have jugs. That was my problem the other day. I was carrying all those jugs up to my apartment, and water bottles. I won't do that again, because then I was not hurting, but I had some discomfort. But it went away. So I think I'm done. This is rambling about me too long. If you have any questions, my email address is always in the description box, as well as all the WIPs that I talked about. And but if you have any questions, feel free to email me or comment in the section under the descriptions. I hope that I still have internet when I'm done here, because I'm going to upload it right away. And then I'm going to try to turn my TV on and see what happens. So, Happy New Year, everyone. And like I said, I will be back to you within 2 weeks. And so thank you for watching. And I hope that everyone has a good weekend. Take care and bye for now.